It has been a while since I've made one of these videos, but there are a lot of new releases and upcoming releases that I am super excited about. So I thought I would make a video kind of sharing them. I don't know if these are actually books that I'm going to get physical copies of yet, or if I'm going to maybe try to look at borrowing them from my library, but they are books that I'm very excited about and I can't wait to eventually read. So I guess I'll just dive right into it. First off, I've been so excited for this since it was announced, and that is Heartstoppper Volume 6 by Alice Osman. I know I am not the only person who is pumped for this one, and I think before it comes out I'm probably gonna have to reread the first 5 just to make sure that I kind of remember what happened in them. But this one comes out July 7th of 2026, and I do actually have it pre-ordered, so it is one that I will definitely be reading. Hopefully I'll have time between now and then to kind of reread the others leading up to it. But yeah, I can't wait to see the end of Nick and Charlie's story. I'm assuming this is actually going to be the end this time for real, which is going to be so bittersweet, but I can't wait nonetheless. Then we have It Could Have Been Her by Lisa Jewell. This one is coming out June 23rd, 2026, and I did already read this. I was sent an ARC for this from NetGalley, and I loved it. It was 4 stars, almost 5 stars to me. The only issue I had with it was that there were just too many point of views happening, but I still did really enjoy it, and I can't wait until it comes out and more people get to read it and enjoy it as well, because I'm interested to see what other people's thoughts are on it, and then also just like theories behind like the plot and what happened in certain characters' pasts and everything like that. Everything that comes along with a crazy thriller and twists and turns. The next book I am super pumped for that might already be out by the time I post this video, and if not, it'll be coming out very soon, is Statues by Junji Ito. This one comes out March 24th, 2026, and it is a collection of short stories by Junji Ito, and the cover looks gnarly, absolutely disgusting, so you know it's gonna be good. I don't know anything about the short stories going into it. I tend to not read anything about any of the Junji Itos that I'm going to buy. He is an insta buy for me. I normally really love his stuff. All I know about this one is that it looks disgusting, and I'm assuming statues or something of that sort is gonna come to life, and that is terrifying because honestly, like, the thought of mannequins coming to life really freaks me out, and I'm sure statues is not much different than that. Next is a novel by a Canadian author called Mother Clown by Harriet Alida Lai. This, I think, is a literary fiction, and it is about a young woman whose father dies, so she moves to Paris from, I believe, Canada, and leaves her life behind to go to an elite theater school, and her mother ends up being really upset that her life has been flipped upside down and turned inside out, so she follows her daughter there, and her daughter is none too pleased about that. So I think this book is following the dynamic between the mother and the daughter, and then also might get a little bit spooky. I don't know. It's kind of giving me a little bit of like a literary horror vibe, because part of the synopsis says that the mother follows the daughter to potentially swallow her whole. I'm not sure if that means kind of take over her life or is just that obsessed with her. I'm not sure, but it's definitely an interesting premise, so it's one that I would love to read eventually, and that one comes out June 2nd, 2026. Next is one that I am very excited about because I actually just received an ARC for it. I haven't read it yet though, but I was looking forward to this before I even received the ARC, so now that I have that, it's just a bonus, honestly. And that is Hot Girl Murder Club by Ashley Winstead. This thriller comes out July 14th of this year, and I don't know much about it, but I've already read one book by Ashley Winstead that was In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and I really enjoyed it. So she's, I don't want to say an insta buy for me, I've only ever read one of her books, but I was definitely looking forward to reading some more of her works, and so when I saw this one come out, I thought, you know, that looks like something that I might really enjoy. The only things I really know about it is that it's like a murdery thriller that takes place in Hollywood with like elite people, which sounds like a really fun time. I don't know that I've ever read anything quite like that, so I can't wait to eventually get into that one. Fingers crossed it is going to be just as good as In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, because I loved that one, so I do have high expectations going into it. Then on June 9th, 2026, we are getting a memoir by Laverne Cox called Transcendent. I am praying that this comes out in the audiobook form and is narrated by Laverne Cox herself, because that would be amazing to me. If you don't know who Laverne Cox is, she is an actress who is probably best known for her role as Sophia Bursette in Orange is the New Black. She was one of my favorite characters in Orange is the New Black. I loved her acting as well. And she had a super interesting storyline too. So I would love to kind of learn about her life more, and hopefully she has like a section about filming Orange is the New Black as well. I would love to hear how that experience was for her. But yeah, this is coming out later this year and I am so excited for it. It's the memoir I never knew I wanted until it was announced, and I was like, oh dang, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. The next one I'm excited for is also another memoir, and it is Learning to Breathe by Clara Hughes. Clara Hughes is a retired Canadian Olympic athlete. She would participate in the summer and winter Olympic Games. She did cycling in the summer, like long distance, and then speed skating in the winter. And as a child, it was always so much fun to watch her. She was one of my favorite Olympic athletes to watch participate. She was amazing at what she did, and I think she already has a memoir, but this one is going to focus more on like mental health and her career and how that impacted her, I believe. So it's another one I'm really looking forward to. Also hoping with this one that she's going to narrate the audiobook. That would be so much fun. That one comes out October 13th, 2026 though. So it's going to be a little bit of a wait, but hopefully that is worth it. Next is another memoir. I'm really looking forward to memoirs, I guess. And this one comes out March 3rd. So it's definitely out by the time I am posting this. It is You with the Sad Eyes by Christina Applegate. I don't know much about Christina Applegate. I watched Dead to Me, which I really enjoyed, and I thought she was great in that show. Other than that, I don't think I've knowingly ever seen anything with her in it, but I really enjoyed her in that show, and I think that she probably has a very interesting story to tell. So once again, would absolutely love to hear it. I'm gonna be straight honest, I love a good memoir by a celebrity. I don't know why, but they're like one of my favorite things to consume in the audiobook format. It's just something about it just like scratches an itch in my brain for some reason. I don't know, but anyone that sounds like they've potentially had a slightly interesting part of their life, I'm like, sign me up. I am going to be listening to that. The next one, I cannot convey to you how excited I am for, and that is a new Madeline Miller that is coming out September 29th, 2026, called Mestra. This is going to be a short story, but I'm completely fine with that. Honestly, I cannot wait to just get another Madeline Miller. She has not published anything since, I believe, Circe was the last thing that she did, and she is so talented. She is such an amazing author. I loved Circe and Song of Achilles. I have not read Galatea yet, but that's simply because I've been holding off because she hadn't announced anything else, and it's the last thing by her that I haven't read yet. And I was sad that if I read that, it was going to be over and I'd have nothing new by her to look forward to. But now I can read it because Mestra is coming out later this year and I cannot freaking wait. Next, coming out October 6th of this year, is another deluxe edition of New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. I do not need this at all, and I'm probably not going to buy it. I did not buy the deluxe edition of Twilight, but I will say it is absolutely stunning. I am excited to at least gaze upon it and wish that I had a bigger house so I could fit tons more books in it. Unfortunately, that's not reality for me, so I will look at it longingly at the bookstore and think about what could be. It is just beautiful, and so it deserved a mention in this video because I can't not talk about it. The next book I am very looking forward to is Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. I actually requested this from NetGalley and I have not received it yet, but it is still pending, so fingers crossed I do receive it because I would love the opportunity to read this one. This one is supposed to be a horror novel that is like a dual timeline that kind of interweaves, and it's like a century apart, so part of it is like 2026 and the other timeline is from the 1800s, and there's some sort of door that allows them to cross over into each other's worlds. That's all I really know, and that was enough to sell me on this. It sounds so interesting. Also sounds like it could be super confusing, but I would totally be willing to give it a shot because it sounds like one that once you get past the confusing parts, it would be 100% worth it. And the cover is just gorgeous for this one as well. The next book I'm really looking forward to is Fatally Yours by Jessica Lacey. This one is going to be released on May 5th, 2026, and it is a dark romance, which I've learned that I really, really love. This one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It is supposed to be about a wedding massacre, which sounds crazy crazy, and I cannot wait to find out what the heck that even means. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about in this video that I am also very excited about is technically already out, but it's getting traditionally published, so I am going to wait until that happens. But it is coming out September 8th, and that is Tethered by Elena R. Galea. I think I'm saying that correctly. This one I have seen all over my TikTok For You page for like probably over a year now, and it always sounded intriguing to me, but I could never find it, so I'm thinking that it was probably on Kindle Unlimited or something like that. But it is being traditionally published, and it sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. It is supposed to be a romantasy that's good for people who like ACOTAR, and it also has vampires and an arranged marriage, which I'm assuming is going to turn into like an enemies to lovers sort of situation or something like that. But I'll just read you a little tiny blurb, literally just a sentence that's at the end of the synopsis that has me sold. It says, "Steeped in dark magic, aching passion, and impossible choices, Tethered is a sweeping Gothic romantasy about two enemies bound by fate and undone by love." Gothic romantasy? Sign me up. That's all I needed to hear. But that's it for now anyway. I'm sure throughout the year there's going to be an abundance of books that I am super excited about and probably do not need, because I have enough books on my shelf to get me through this lifetime. But that's okay. I'm still going to be excited about new and upcoming releases and talk about them and hopefully eventually read them. Let me know in the comments if any of these sound interesting to you, or if there's any upcoming releases that I didn't talk about but you're super pumped about. I would honestly love to hear about them. I love talking about books. But I am going to leave this one here. I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.